Sam Sentient Sessions, core back in session. I have a message for you. Are you ready for it? The lights in my face. Are you ready for it? Okay. So I had done a prayer, but I'm starting over because sometimes there's a message that comes out my mouth, and sometimes it just don't be resonating, but it do, but it don't. I already said my prayer, actually. I'm not repeating it. But soul's journey. Living from soul opens me to the magic that exists when I surrender. I had pulled from the Soulful Woman deck. But yeah, living from soul opens me to the magic that exists when I surrender to divine manifestation on its own terms and timings. I'm probably going to use the same, I'm going to use the same reference. It's just that that reference came out in such a way that I just could not understand. I had used a specific reference for this. So, what the reference I used was like, okay, so I'm going to read it. Actually, I'm going to say it and I'm going to read it. So, the reference I had used was like, oh, when they were sailing the new world, they had no desire to exploit the whole world. They had no idea where they were going. And the waters took them wherever it took them, and they made their conscious choices to exploit new areas, right? But they had the intention of exploiting one specific area, and then life took them on a journey to exploit and colonize a lot of areas, right? And it's not even necessarily that was, I mean, of course, I feel like everything happens within reason, but the choices, they made the choices to exploit and colonize everywhere. And that was the thought that came out. And I was like, why did it come out? Sometimes I just have to be a vessel, but that's what came out. And I was like, so like, by it, because that's why I started over the reading, because I was like, why did I just say that? But it's some truth. And I'm just going to keep, we're going to see what comes out my mouth. Oh my God. But I don't give a fuck. Literally, that's exactly that. Today's what? Today's Dr. King, Martin Luther King Day. And I cannot control what's about to come out of my mouth. Low key, I am not scared, but I'm just like, it's gonna be a lot. I can feel it, like something. I feel something, and I'm just like, damn, we're gonna call something out that it's probably not. But yeah, yeah, they control. Like, Anyways, let's read this card. As a soul, I am connected to an abundant and infinite universe, one that is constantly giving birth to itself. Likewise, my body's cycles are connected to the cycles of the earth, the moon, and the cosmos. It's a perpetual dance of birth, death, and renewal. This system is going to come to an end at some point. I have to say it. Like, we are in a space where we have to, like, touch base with our souls and see what it is that we want to create, because we're constantly living in a creation of other people's dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are the dreamers, and they use us to create a life of their dreams, but that is not what they want. That's not what we want. They want us to want what they want so that we could continuously pour into that. I cannot control what's coming out of my mouth today. On my soul's journey, I am drawn to make meaning of my experiences as they unfold. Experiences that are joyful as well as those that are more difficult call to me. They ask me to become more fully awake, to fulfill my purpose, to live from my essence, my soul. All right, let me tell you something. There's something like within our DNA, um, we hold the traumas of our ancestors. especially if I'm talking to you colonized people. And if you are a descendant of a colonizer, we hold all of that memory within our DNA. And right now, I feel like we're being called to tap in and to release the trauma or to heal it. And the only way to heal it is to live a life of our dreams, to co-create actively, like to be an active co-creator. And the thing is about that is there is no faith without works is dead. You know what I'm saying? We sit here, we dream, and we put no action towards our dreams. And your actions and my actions may not be the same actions, but you should actively dream, and you should actively expand, you know what I'm saying, past the limitations that have been given to you, because those are limitations of another's dreams. Living from soul opens me to the magic and abundance of the universe to which I am intimately connected. The depth and luminescence of my soul is tempered by virtues of humility, patience, compassion, and endurance. As I surrender to divine manifestation on its own terms and timings, I find that even the impossible begin to feel possible. Again, we have been made to live a life of somebody else's dreams, of other people's dreams, regardless of how hmm 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 we have been meant to live. We have been pushed into creating a life that does not serve us. And the way to free ourselves is to find out what does, and to flow. Allow the waters of life to take you where it's meant to. And it's crazy to say, but like, their intentions had been set. And now, their intentions have been set, and that was the way life has played out. And we need to regain control of our boats. We have to regain control of our boats. We can't control the waters, but we can control our boats. So let's pull cards, because where is this going? Liar. Use your creative mind. Eat well. Ground yourself. Nothing to worry about. You gotta relax, darling. Liar. Use your creative mind. Ground yourself. Nothing to worry about. You gotta relax. Don't let life get you down. You're being irresponsible. Gemini. Unnecessary drama ODing. Spiritual bath. Shake some ass. You're the one projecting. What is this message? For spiritual health. Sexy. Areas. Oh my God, no. Pampering. Watching Mad Face. Oh. I get it. Hold on. Oh God. I get it. I've gotten it. I've gotten it. Yeah. I have gotten it. Yeah. There we go. What the hell was the message? Damn. It's crazy how things can come out and then it just be like, what is this? And go somewhere else. Because it's not that I feel like I'm what the hell am I talking about? Liar, use your creative mind, eat well, ground yourself, unnecessary drama ODing. Nothing to worry about. You gotta relax, darling. Spiritual bath. Don't let life get you down. Shake some ass. You're being irresponsible. You're the one projecting. Poor spiritual health, watching mad face, sexy, pampering. Oh, Gemini, Sagittarius. What the fuck? Liar, ground yourself. Unnecessary drama, ODing. Ooh, ooh. Something's going to shift. Something's going to happen. Something is spiritually cleansing. Use your creative mind. It's time to start dreaming. It's time to start fucking dreaming. Nothing to worry about. Like, I feel like, okay, boom. What I want to talk about, damn, where did I start? Okay, I feel like I'm getting like responsibility, and oh my God. Okay, here's what we're talking about. I feel like I'm starting to get like this responsibility that is nerve wracking because I'm talking about things that I know, but like I never really thought I would share on. Like, I want to talk more about the subconscious mind, but this is something that hides within all of our subconscious minds, is that we aren't able to create the life of our dreams, and we have to continuously pour into a system that doesn't fucking serve us at all. Like, I've talked to people and I feel like low key I'm a little traumatized now, where I've heard just how disposable we all are and become. Mm. So, yeah, there's a call to eat better and find ways to relax. And yes, sometimes we have to move through the system in order to see outside of it. Use it to your advantage. You get what I'm saying? There's certain things like, of course, there's certain, like, you have to coexist with it, right? But stop giving it all your fucking power. There's nothing to worry about. You have to relax. Like, stop giving it all your power. Stop saying the things that aren't possible for you because of this system, because of the way that things have played out. You get what I'm saying? Regain control of your ship, of your boat. Regain, regain control. It's, if something has us under spiritual control, then we create a life around what it is that they're feeding us spiritually, because our higher minds is the creative power that projects into this reality the things that we believe to be true. So if we all collectively believe the same thing to be true, then of course we create that. And again, we have years of us being taught that we are disempowered and having things support our disempowerment. So we create a reality that reflects that and also encourages it. So once you start to try to see outside of being disempowered, you begin to feel like, I get in some, I say this a lot, like the Inception reference where you're changing the dream and the characters around you are like, what the fuck? Because again, these are generations of disempowerment. Mm, you're the one projecting. Like, I'm also getting the scene from The Wiz. Like, these are scenes that have been like in my head for a long time. The scene from The Wiz where they start to strip off all their clothes working in the factory and they start dancing. Okay, sometimes there's things, as work with what your mind believes to be true in order to see outside of it. How much can I tell about my own experience right now? See, okay, so let's say you feel like, yes, right now, you know that eventually you do not want to work a job, but you feel like right now you have to work a job. Work with that. Use your mind to visualize better. So now you're working this job. Do you have to be miserable at your job? No, my job is so pleasant. I always get the best experiences. My job meets me where I'm at. I am continuously going to tell you the power of your own mind. Empower yourself, because what you believe to not be true right now, you can maneuver your way outside of the lies that you've told yourself. Like, so me personally, I'm someone who has struggled to keep jobs because I feel eventually really miserable. But then I started to realize the more miserable I feel, the more miserable my job becomes. And eventually, I don't want to work a job. I know that that's my end goal, but there's certain elements that pour into the things that has been created with the system. I need to work within it to be able to see outside of it. I can't see outside of it when there's certain sacrifices that are made in order to build endurance. Yeah, like, is it endurance the word? Like, I love not having a job. When I don't have a job, I'm chilling. But then I also feel the implications of being jobless within this society. I start to feel like a bum. I've been unlearning that as well. And I'm unlearning the ways I feel about working so that when I work on my own things, I don't feel that same misery, because I start to take that when I feel a way about working in general. I take that same misery and I apply it to the things that I do. And I feel like, again, this is generations of hatred for working because labor has been forced. It's still forced to this day. You know what I'm saying? But think of it as if you're thinking about a thought process. If we feel that way, if we feel like our labor, damn. Mm-hmm. Okay, like if we feel like we have to be disempowered to work, when you create, you feel disempowered as well. And I've said that on TikTok too, but I feel like I'm expanding on it. I've been really dealing with these thoughts in my own present reality. Like anything that I'm speaking about, in some way, shape, or form, I have the credentials to, because I've been dealing with the same type of shit, and I deal with my own cycles, and I see my way out of them. Like I'm true to this, not new to this. Like I'm really a soldier, dead ass. So don't let life get you down. Shake some ass. Like, you need to find joy. Where you find joy, you create more of. If you continuously see yourself in a miserable state, a miserable experience, you will find misery. It's the same way where people could be in the same situation. People could be in the same, and I've seen this. I'm telling you, I'm true to this. I've seen this. People could be in the same situation, and their perspective will take them on two different paths. That ass. Like real shit. But all of us are meant to share similar perspectives. That's why they aim to control us spiritually. Because if they do, then we all have the same perspective. And if we have the same perspective, then it's easier to create a world that serves why that perspective was created in the first place. Mm. Anyways, you're being irresponsible. You're the one projecting, Gemini. Like that's with me, and like, because when I, that's a message to me. Because I dead ass was like, let me re-record because I'm saying this and I'm like, bro, this what I said wasn't from nobody but the ancestors. They said today is Dr. King Day. I had read something. It's so interesting how life works. Oh my god, I had read something. Alice Walker, we are the ones that we've been waiting for. Oh my god. Oh, I love great. I love God. God is good. We are the ones we've been waiting for. That's the title of the book. And what I was reading was her ex, like, I didn't even know this was the chapter coming on up. I read it today. It's about Dr. King and how they were looking for, he gave them hope. He actually cared. He gave him hope and he spoke even though he knew the dangers of speaking. And I myself in my own life has been told that like I'm like everything's okay. And this is generations of stifling. I'm a black woman. I'm an African woman. There's been generations of shut the fuck up. And I'm breaking that in my own, like, I'm breaking that in my own cycles. And it's terrifying because there's different points where things that we share or say, a lot of us have been taught to stifle our voices because there's been points where the things we've been taught to share, say, even when we walk in our light, walk in our truth, we've been taught that we've been villainized, demonized, murdered, killed. I'm a black woman. I'm a black woman who wants to speak about spiritual matters. I come from a culture where everything I say would deem me a witch. And that would be the worst thing ever. You get what I'm saying? Empowerment as a black woman, it's like something within me feels discomfort with speaking and with empowering myself and empowering others. Like, but it's so natural. It feels so natural. This feels like what I was always supposed to be doing because this is what we do on a regular basis. But we do it in a way that like destroys us. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh God, where's this coming from? Oh, this a day. And then, oh God. Um, and these are thoughts I'm sharing because like Alice Walker, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I was watching something else where someone called somebody their Coretta and she was cheated on by that man. He's a great man in leadership roles, but like we don't know what she been through. So it's damn, there's just a lot I'm like feeling, but yeah, we have it embedded in us to be disempowered. The journeys of our mothers, our fathers, our grandfathers, our grandmothers, our it's been embedded in us and it's been told to us that we need to play small and we need to suffer because that benefits the society that we live in the most when we feel like we deserve suffering. Those are the things that we taught ourselves, or no, not taught ourselves. That's the things that's been taught to us. And I feel, especially for, yeah, this for the blacks. I mean, if you listen to me, you resonate and you feel something, then that's great. But yeah, this one is Dr. King Day. What is Dr. King Day? This one is for my folks. Okay, because there, I like again, I'm an African. I'm first generation, but my mom came here like in her like her late teens, and she had kids here. Um, so my family grew up in New York, right? And we don't really resonate with the same sentiments that like a lot of Africans have about African Americans, which is forced on us. Like we all are forced into diaspora wars because if we don't see God in each other, then like, we don't ever really unite. But um yeah, fucking the things I've felt the most about African Americans is just like one, wonderment. Because there's a way African Americans have continuously created culture despite how many times it's been stolen from them. And then they've been told over and over and over they don't know who they are. But they do. Inherently, there's something I've noticed within African Americans that knows how powerful they are. They've endured so much. Like every one of us have endured a different type of, just under colonialism as it is. We've all endured a certain type of traumas. We've endured a lot, but like the way that African Americans were done in this country is sick. And that's the way that they were able to relate in apartheid. Like I'm telling you, we need to see each other. We need to see God in each other. We need to see the power we all hold, and we hold individually as well as collectively. This is not a competition. This is not a competition. Like we destroying each other. We destroying ourselves. Like I really feel it. Like this is not a competition. Like I do feel like that's something that shows up a lot too, that competition and wanting to feel like the good black or the better black or the blackest black. And it's just like, bro, um we need to appreciate the experiences that each of us share, because the society has told us we nothing collectively. And I can extend that to, again, like to those in the Caribbean, those, like, you know what I'm saying, in Hispanic countries. Even when I'm talking about the first thing they wanted to do, they was aiming for India. They were aiming for India. They weren't trying to do this to the world. They saw an opportunity to fuck us all over. And now all of us is dealing with the repercussions of that and generations of that, and we hate each other because they told us to. And we don't benefit from it. We don't even benefit from hating them. Like we don't benefit from none of it. We just create a world where somebody's disempowered, someone's less supreme. Like we all in our own right living, we just spiritual beings having a human experience, and we figuring this shit out. And we also dealing with generations of 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 experiences that have been reimagined, you know. Okay, so that was the Page of Cups in reverse. That was like beaten down, like poor spiritual health, watching Mad Face, Sexy, Pampering, Sagittarius, The Lovers. Oh God. I get so nervous. Uh, what am I nervous for? Um, I thought to say this makes poor spiritual health. Like, listen, Here's how I have to, this is what I have to say. I ain't better than nobody. That ass. I'm really not. I ain't shit sometimes. Like I really am not. I have no desire to market myself as if I'm better than anybody. I ain't shit sometimes. I really am not. I'm a human and I just want to help. And I just want to help. And I feel anger towards people. I'm a very angry person inside sometimes. I feel anger. But the thing is, the less I let people disrespect me, the better I feel. Like, I only be angry because I let people disrespect me. So if you ever disrespected me and continue to watch because you're interested in the things I have to say, then it really is what it is. Like, I really don't, I can't control that. Like, dead ass. I feel less angry than I've been before. And that's what I aim for every day. Every day I try to be less angry than I've been because I was at some point a very angry person. And people would never be able to tell, but I self-destructed because of that anger. So I have no space to hold on to resentment and I pray every day to release it. And that's how much I love people, I would say. Like I ain't shit sometimes. I ain't shit sometimes. But even though I've gotten to a point with even with people who have fucked me over, and I'm talking like on a societal level too. Like, you know how we hold this resentment? I wouldn't like, hmm. I feel like I'm really working through the things that make me hold back on the things I have to say. But like, but I'm gonna say it in this way. Um, even though I have felt angry, even though I had hated people, even though, well, I hate strong. And I feel like I read the book for a reason too, like, because she was talking about how Dr. King really supported nonviolence. All right. Now, here's my thoughts. There's some things that's out of my control. If you do me dirty, I'm usually gonna walk away because I don't want to give it energy. And if I'm sitting there seething, I'm gonna keep figuring out why am I seething and what can I do about it that would be productive. Watching mad face. Like some people do things out of their own insecurities, out of their own ego. When I'm thinking about colonizers, imagine the ego you have to go into new land and say, this is mine, I am grand, without knowing anything about the natives, without knowing anything about the people. Imagine the boldness you have to go into, this is even recent, the generations I come from, to go into a land, see people practicing the things that they practice, and then demonizing them, telling them, no, you don't know, I know better for you. And now I have to heal from religious trauma because my mother grew up in a missionary school. Oh, and you know what I'm saying? Those things eventually come back around. And it sucks to learn more. It really does. Because it's like, damn. But it's just like, you gotta do what you had to do to heal. For real. For real. And when I learned about those missionary schools, because she wouldn't talk too much about her experiences, but I went on my own little journey. And I was reading, like, I had taken an first of all, Africana studies changed my life. But I had taken this, like, African fashion course taught by a white man. That shit was so odd. But, anyways, I had taken this African studies course and we had talked about missionary schools and what they did. So a lot of these girls were in these they were in these missionary schools, and they had ended up being kind of sold to like older men, to white men. Um, the white men would come with pictures, with cameras, and take pictures of the little girls. They took pictures of them naked, and they would go back to Europe, and they would print out pictures. And if you talk to them and try to tell them how weird it is when they tell you stories about how these grown men were watching them bathe, they don't think of it that way because they were children. And it sucks when you try to explain it to somebody and they don't want to hear it because that's the perception that they've learned to have about it. And they don't want to see the flaws in it because, again, they've told them, they told them, oh shit, like, listen to the whole thing about, like, when it comes to religious trauma, and this is not me demonizing any religion because, again, like, I would consider myself a follower of Christ, but I'm not, no. But imagine you're young, and this is what happened to me. Like, you're young and you're pushed into these schools. I was in Sunday school, but they were in missionary school, so everything they were being taught was by the missionaries. So you're taught off rip that you're evil inherently. Your ancestors are evil. Your direct line, like direct line. Your grandfather's evil. Your grandmother is evil because of the things that they do that has kept them sane or kept them protected for generations. And you're evil, and if you do any of that, you're going to hell. And it's like, just in general, what people experiences, I have to learn how to give more grace and forgiveness, but I really am big on stay away from me. I'm sorry, but like, give more grace, give more forgiveness. Whenever I think of Sagittarius, I think of like the big details. And when I think of Gemini, I think of like all the little details. Because that's what Gemini, Sagittarius, like the big details, grand scheme. Gemini is like the little details. And then like coming together, it's like, okay, here's understanding it like this. But yeah. Okay, all my friends know the low rider. Ooh, I even watched some things about the natives. I really have been in a space about everything. And I know that the only thing I could do is to continue living. Like, it'd be hard to know things, but it's my duty to share things. Even if people do not understand my perspective or do not care for it. Because it's my duty to question things. That is what my role is, and that's who I'm going to be. And I accept it. Like, what am I going to do? It's scary, but that's what I want to do. So, Sam Sentient Sessions. This court is adjourned. Like, I've been. Thank you for being here. Please come back.